Well, that's a wrap on one of the most bullshit seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It's probably the most BS season we've seen since RHOBH Season 9, aka the Lucy Apple Juice season. Which is really bloody saying something. And it's a shame, too. Given that the cast was mostly killer. But it just goes to show that even an A+ lineup won't produce A+ television. The fundamental issue here is that there was a colossal build-up with a majorly disappointing anti-climax. Considering they'd been teasing a Kathy Hilton meltdown since the start of the year, we were expecting that the experienced RHOBH production team would serve us some glorious footage, but nope. There was somehow no footage in the Sprinter van, the house or the club. They're able to film the RHONY girls getting lit in packed New York City nightclubs and admitting to debaucherous activity when cameras are down, a la Luann's hot mic moment where she discussed the pirate. Yet there's mysteriously no footage from the moment the ladies entered the club until the next day. It ended up turning into a confusing, nonsensical case of she said, and fans feel incredibly let down. Which leads me to my salient point: where do we go next? The powers that be at Bravo should be handing out contracts as we speak, and it's one of the most important decisions they'll ever make. In case you missed it, next year is RHOBH Season 13, and historically, that has been an unlucky number. I mean, look at RHONY. That died in the ass with Season 13 due to shitty casting decisions, and they need to avoid making that mistake again. In order to revive the series, I've come up with a clever proposal of who should be hired for a surefire hit season. Who should be cast in RHOBH Season 13? Kyle Richards. Kyle is the glue that holds everything together. The queen of RHOBH. The last remaining OG. We need her on the show, and I hope she never leaves. I know there were rumblings about her leaving after this season, but she personally told me while she was in Australia that she has no intentions of quitting anytime soon. I am concerned that she was particularly distressed after this reunion, but she's been through worse with her other sister Kim. I reckon she needs a redemption season, but we'll get to that in a sec. Garcelle Beauvais. She's an icon, she is a legend, and she is the moment. Garcelle is the future of RHOBH. She's not going anywhere. Sutton Strack. This woman. This woman right here, she was born to be a housewife. She's quirky, eccentric, has an overt sense of style, more kitty sweaters, please, freely displays her emotions, and will read a bitch if she needs to. Erika Jayne. The show is called Real Housewives, and there's nothing more real than having your lavish life snatched away from you. We've been watching Erika Jayne's post-Tom journey with our jaws on the floor this whole time. Why stop now? Not only that, but everyone finally got their wish this season. The Fox Force 5 is no more. Don't you want to see what happens next? I sure as shit do. Lisa Rinna. I know there's a mad witch hunt to have Lisa Rinna thrown off the show and banished into the abyss. But I think that would be as big of a mistake as putting Dorinda on pause and letting RHONY turn to shit. To the pitchfork-wielding people standing out the front of Bravo HQ, demanding that Rinna be fired, I'd like you to ask yourself, what would this season have been without her? Literally all of the best scenes involved Rinna in some way, everything else was a total sleeping pill. Sure, as Andy Cohen put it, she's a disaster, on social media and also on the show itself, but I'd personally rather a chaotic housewife than a boring housewife. Love her or hate her, she is a necessary evil and RHOBH needs her. Denise Richards. With the aforementioned torch-wielding villagers now on their way to my doorstep, let me explain more of the reasoning behind wanting Rinna to stay. This Denise Richards, Lisa Rinna sit-down has been teased for a while now, and I think it's time that it finally happens. And when it does happen, I don't want it done in private. I need Andy and a camera. Denise had a shit go of it the first time around, and she deserves a redemption season. Brandi Glanville, but the Rinna-Denise makeup won't be enough to sustain the entire season. We need the Og badass of RHOBH back. With her return to the Housewives on Ultimate Girls Trip, Brandi proved that she's still absolutely brilliant television. No offense to certain housewives who will remain unnamed, but it pisses me off that Bravo wastes salary money on ladies who don't pull their weight. One thing is for sure, Brandi Glanville will damn well earn her paycheck and give us one hell of a season. Camille Meyer. Why Camille Meyer hasn't been invited back in a full-time capacity is astounding to me. Every time she pops up on screen my eyes light up because I know we're in for some reality TV gold. Camille is a RHOBH Og and deserves to be welcomed back into the fold to help revive the flailing franchise. RHOBH Friends for Season 13. Eileen Davidson. RHOBH has had an iLegend-shaped hole in it since we left. I've always thought that Eileen was a stabilizing force in Rinna's life. While Erica is the devil on her shoulder, Eileen is the angel. She needs both to keep her somewhat grounded. And also I wanna see what our soap opera queen has been up to since almost throwing down with Kim Richards in Amsterdam. Speaking of Dorit Kemsley, I'd hate to see Dorit demoted because I honestly love her so much, but she brought nothing this season. Niet, nada, zilch, other than fabulous looks and a shoulder to cry on. And she can do both these things in a friend capacity. Attend the cast trips and wow us with her looks, and also be the voice of reason when shit hits the fan with the more chaotic girls in the group. Faye Resnick. When the morally corrupt Faye Resnick is around, chaos ensues. Next season Kyle is bound to have an altercation or two with Rinna and Erica, and we need Faye around to mediate. RHOBH guests for Season 13. Kathy Hilton. I know Kathy Hilton said she wouldn't return to the Housewives if the gruesome twosome are involved, but how about as a guest? I'm hoping that she and Kyle will be able to repair their rift with a sit-down sans Lisa Rinna and her wicked smirk. Plus, from what I hear, Kathy's salary is monstrous, which is unfair given that she wouldn't really bring as much as, say, a Camilla or a Brandi. Kim Richards. Having all three Richards sisters on our screens is like the power of three uniting and blessing the world with its magic. If anyone can save RHOBH, it's the Richards sisters. The power of three will set us free. Lisa Vanderpump. Okay, I know she'd never in a million years agree to film with Kyle, Rinna, Erica etc., but I reckon she'd defs film with Camille, Denise, Sutton and Garcelle. Just having a scene or two with LVP throwing mass shade at the other girls from afar would be chef's kiss. As I said earlier, casting announcements should be dropping shortly. In the meantime, here's who's rumored to be in and who's rumored to be out. RHOBH